Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to another Geometry Dash video. Today, I'm going to be adding effects to Robtop levels. It's a very simple video idea, but it could be pretty challenging to work with a few of Rob's block choices, and it's going to add a nice little spin to what we're familiar with in the game. So let's just jump into it. I want to start off with dry out. I'm not really sure how I'm going to copy the level. I think I just got to search it. Dry out copyable. Here we go. We've got one by Sky Sapphire. I'm just going to have a quick little scout of this to make sure it's the real one. We'll delete the secret way. Who's putting a secret way in dry out, man? Come on. I wish there was a way to turn these lines off. They're really annoying. Okay, let's put a start pause right here. The first thing I want to work on is this ship part because it's very empty. First things first, I'm going to turn off the background effect, which is going to get rid of all the particles you see in the ship section, in the open flying areas. Now, I want to make a vortex background here just to warm up for this video. Yeah, this is going to work. The only thing I can see getting in the way are these ground spikes. We can set the whole level to a group 1 and just start off with a nice little pulse for that group. Maybe 8 and 8 to black. Let's see. We need to follow the duration line all the way to the end. Okay, the Q portal's here. Let's just try a 7 and 7. You know what that'll do if I just move it a bit to the left? There we go. So all of these blocks should fade to black in the middle of this ship section. You can see it happening already. Just need to remember to do that with the line as well. Yeah, here we go. This is going to be a lot cleaner. You see that the ground spikes on the bottom disappear because the player color channels are blending. Since blending treats a color channel like light, black light doesn't exist, so any objects with it just go invisible. Okay, let's check our ship portal and we shall get to placing our background in. We're going to be using 2 times scaled up squares on a new color channel that copies the color of the background. There we go. So 3 objects takes it to the middle on each side. Okay, we have our coverage going into the ship like this, but you'll notice that there's a very obvious cutoff, which I'm going to make a little bit nicer with some glow that's stacked up on top of itself with extra layers like this. Group 2 is going to be about 33% opaque, just so we can have a nice looking gradient like that eases in this color. We might have to add an extra version without that group just to match it. There we go. We could be a lot more fancy and make it move onto the screen in a stylistic way, but I don't think this looks too bad. It's nice and easy. I'm not trying to go too insane with any of these effects or anything. The moving group is 3, which is given to the whole lot. Then the bottom half is going to be given group 4. And the top half is going to be given group 5. These numbers will increment every time for every layer. First things first, we need to lock the moving group to the x-axis, provided that this is on don't fade, don't enter, which it is, and that's going to stop any block transitions at the side, like these, taking any effect. See how every block right now is moving up and down onto the screen? Well, the background is just a solid block right there, and it's very saturated. It's going to be lowered as soon as I get the other layers in, trust me. Okay, let's test it. Group number 4 is moving down 50 blocks. Ease in 2 seconds. Then 5 needs to be the opposite because it's on the top. Very lame. 1, it happens too early, and 2, there's not enough move time on it to make it smooth. Okay, that's a lot better. I changed it to 5 seconds. Yeah, that's a lot cooler already. So then we need to copy this layer, put it on editor layer 3, because I used the second editor layer for that gradient. We're going to go into the HSV tab while keeping color channel 2. We're going to change the brightness by 0.04 downwards. The bottom layer has 6, the top layer has 7. So those numbers are going to be incremented by 2 every time. I can copy these move triggers, move them a little bit to the right, and just add 2, just like that. And now this time there's going to be another layer behind. Hold on, I forgot to do something very important. On editor layer 3, I need to decrease the Z order by 1. There we go. You see how there's another slightly darker layer behind it now? We just got to repeat that process over and over again. It takes a while, but eventually you get in the swing of things, giving it groups and stuff. I've copy-pasted this about 10 times in a row, and I'm finally starting to get the hang of what I'm supposed to be doing in the most efficient way possible. Listening to Slow Dive right now is really helping me focus on what I'm doing and not get distracted. By the way, when you make these kinds of effects, it's good to stop every now and then and work on the triggers separately as well. If at some point I have accidentally put the wrong brightness on something, I will have continued from that wrong brightness, and it's a nightmare to correct. So this is what we've got so far. I think there's about 22 layers in this, maybe 23. It gets pretty dark after a while, so I'm thinking of changing the movement time on it and making it go back in at the end, and it's going to be pretty easy to do. Let's change this to ease in out and a 7-second move time, and we'll scale it down. So at that point in the song that I've paused, I want them to come back in. I can easily just flip them, set them right at that point. But the thing is, I'm going to have to select every single one of the top triggers and change them from positive to negative. Since they've moved up, they need to come back down and meet in the middle. So let me just quickly do that. The same but opposite for the bottom triggers. Now, it's a pain that I've scaled them down first, but it is what it is. Here we go. So it should slow down towards the bottom this time because it's got ease in out. Oh, there's a gap. Okay. And are they going to move back? Bro, that takes so long. What? Why is it like that? Okay, hold on. We got to figure out the right easing for this. We could add another layer to this all the way on like editor layer 4 billion. We can remove the groups, change the Z order by -1 again, and then just have the next brightness just there on -0.88. It's not going to move or anything. It's just going to be the background in case the background gets shown. Let me see. Okay, so I think that's that in the background there. It's not moving in the way I want it to. And I've messed up the movements? What is that? Oh god. So the way I normally fix these bugs is just by letting it play in the background, picking out the error when it comes back up right about now. Yep, I can see it. Okay. Oh, it's on layer 18. Group 36 has a discrepancy on its way back up. Let me see. Now I need to backwards read to find 30. So here it is. Aha! It doesn't have the 10-second move time. I must have just barely missed it when I was selecting them all. Okay. That is the dry out vortex that I was trying to create. There we go. That's more like it. That's a cool looking background to me. And we got the coin. Perfecto. So when all of these movements end, I'm going to add another one for group 3, which takes 5 seconds. It's going to ease in 400 blocks to the right so that the gradient at the very end over here is shown once again and the background kind of fades away. I'm going to try it anyway. That is pretty much perfect. I'm not going to lie. Wait, what? How did I just get a UFO? What? What? Did I jumped 50,000 times. Okay. Can't let go copyable by Daddy Goose. Thank you very much. Alrighty, so for this one, I want to try out a mask in this black section or the upside down one. Not sure yet, but it's probably going to be very simple and just using different opacities and stuff because I think this could look pretty interesting. I don't want to make anything too complex in this video because obviously the Robtop levels are very simple. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to be placing black B3 blocks literally everywhere on don't fade, don't enter. I'm going to make one strip straight up like that. I think that should be far enough. I'm just keeping my eye on that line. Okay, just like that. We'll extend it a bit to the left just to allow for a transition, which is probably going to be a toggle right as those background triggers end. Then these are going to get copy pasted. Okay, how many objects is that? Oh, you know, it's only 13,000. It's fine, it's fine. Underneath these blocks, I'm going to start making little pillars, just little shapes underneath that I'm going to delete and cut out. I'm going to connect them at times to make it at least a little bit interesting. You know, give it a bit of structuring instead of it just being straight up pillars. Now I'm selecting spaces underneath the blocks because I want to keep the black box look to it. Oh, what is that, Rob? Are you serious? Why is that so off grid? Those are going to get deleted straight up. Then I'm going to start marking little strips and other areas that I want to be low opacity. Mostly random areas on top of and around the blocks. I've decided to do a box right there, which is going to be pretty interesting. And then a regular road strip for that orb. Skip this one and then the next two. Okay, those are the objects that I want to make half opacity. Let me add that to group 1. And we're going to put it on a different editor layer just so we can distinguish that when we're not in preview mode. Okay, 1 is going to be half. Then I'm probably going to mark out another area to be like 20%, 10% opacity, and this is going to be pretty rare. Wait, it's going to be the opposite way around. If I want the background to be 10% opaque when it's underneath these blocks, these need to be either 0.9 or 0.8, somewhere around that region. I don't know if I want on at 10% or 20% yet. I just gotta remember that. Since I can't decide between 0.8 or 0.9, I'm just gonna put 0.85. To go beneath these, I am scaling up some B4 glow pillars, which are made of a glow block, a block, and a glow block, just like that. And this is going to be on 1, which is apparently white blending. This was just on the copy that I got, so I might as well use it. And these are going to be given a lock to X moving group and their own. I could put them on the same group, but it's just good practice to make 2 different groups. So this is what we've got for Can't Let Go so far. It probably needs polished here and there, but this is actually kind of clean. It's a bit rough around the edges, I can't lie. You can see where some of the opacities meet, which isn't what I like to see. But you know, it's not bad. I like the mix of the 10% opacity areas and the 50%, and then the full opacity behind the blocks. Yeah, this is decent looking to me. The other thing I want to do is select all of these spikes and make them invisible on black blending, and then we'll just add some black glow there instead, because it was a bit weird. Okay, so on editor layer 4, we have some T3 black glow being copy pasted in, and this is on the moving group, which fades onto the screen, so it shouldn't have too much of a weird transition in, as you can see on the bottom. Oh, but hold on, you can see the block transitions on the left and right. Those are kind of messy. We're going to select the whole level, put that on don't fade, don't enter. Another thing I want to do is make 2 a bit more dynamic. So I'm going to place 1 alpha trigger here and then 1 on the last beat. There's 32 beats in this part, so I need to copy paste this until there's 31 on this block. Then the one at the end makes it 32. Then we select this and the final one, and we click Align X to make it evenly spaced. There we go. Okay, then we copy paste it. We move it 1 block to the right. Ignore this 1, that's just an alpha trigger bug thing. It's actually on 0, it's just showing that it's on 1. We drag that to 0.85 back to where it was for 0.5 seconds. Then we can probably do the same but opposite for group 1. We could make the object pulse to black, and then we could probably pulse the black that we're using for the mask up a tiny little bit. Okay, so let's get our pulse triggers again. And then let's add that. I don't know, maybe that looks so strange. Then let's make sure we post the line to black as well, and that should be us good to go. Honestly, I think this looked a little bit better before we even touched it, but it is what it is. This is a Can't Let Go effect. Yeah, it's not the greatest. I didn't polish it. If I added more glow to it and like swept it up around the edges, it could be a lot better, but you get the general idea that I was going for. Oh, there's a lot of half-spaced objects over here. Rob, what is that? I'll probably make multiple videos on this, but the one level that I definitely want to include in this video is blast processing, baby. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get into this wave part. We're going to do the thing that we did in dry out with the group 1. There's going to be a pulse trigger right at the start. It's going to be a 1 second fade in, maximum hold to black on group 1. A lot of these effects are taking longer than I expected for this video, so instead of having one massive video, we might as well split it up into a bunch. You know, it's a nice little side series alongside the random color challenge that's going on right now. I'm gonna have to do the gradient thing that I did in dry out as well. It's gonna be kind of similar. Group 2, 33% opacity, and then we stack them up on top of each other. This might be a bit strange because it's white, but it looks so strange, but we're gonna keep it. Okay, so this screen has its unique group 4 and it's moving group 3. It locks onto the x-axis at this point, and it's also going to move onto the screen for 1 second in line with the pulse. We're going to say minus 200 blocks, but to do that we're going to have to offset it to the right 200 blocks before it's ever even visible. Let me keyboard this properly. There we go. Oh, it's not quite far enough over. Okay, so it needs to lock later. Or it could just move 300 to the left instead of 200. There we go. Perfect. Oh, okay, the ground needs to change to black. I didn't think about that. Okay, so alongside this pulse, the ground and the line can go to black as well. Then we're going to add a pulse right here to the drum, which is going to dimmen the white screen. Now, what color channel is this actually on? It's on 4. Okay, so for color channel 4, it's going to slightly dimmen it. Okay, same pulsing method as before. 1 at the start, 1 at the end. There's 10 beats that I want to sync, so I copy paste this 8 times. Then there should be 9 objects here. There we go. And the 10th, we align to the x-axis, not the y. What am I thinking? And the pulse goes down to this gray on a 0.2, 0.5 fade. So it's not too sharp right there. You see, it's kind of... Why does it work like that? So for a second, it shows, oh, because these go to black blending. That's a shame. So all of that detail just goes to waste. Color 1 needs to fade, I think. I don't think we need an entire group for this. I think color channel 1 can just be the one to go dark. Then on the pulses downward like that, you get the color out of it. Okay, this is kind of what I'm going for. You'll see soon. Right there, the color fades back in. That's kind of cool, I guess. But the color is still to come. That looks really ugly. Okay, we definitely need to pulse downward for that, because that is bad. So the outline stays up for a second, and then the outline will go back to black once group 1 is faded out. There we go. And then we can add the extra color that we're about to put on right now. Okay, right there on T3, there is a black blending screen, which is going to cover the level. It's going to have a group which is going to fade through a bunch of different colors on top and make it look very saturated. So I'm probably going to put a pulse trigger for that color channel 10, just on a 1 and 1 for colors like red. Once that ends, I'll do blue. Then I'll start doing rainbow with a 0.05 and 0.2 fade time. Just copy pasting it, moving 2 blocks to the right, and then just incrementing the hue very slightly every time. Then how about I add a pulse trigger for group 1, which should be everything in the level, on a short fade time and a 1 second fade out. Same for the background, maybe. And we could have the hold end right there. Okay, we have to adjust this hold to the exact point where these pulse triggers happen, and that's not going to be very easy, is it? So right there, that's where the pulse ends, and then it flashes upwards like that. Cool. And then at that point, I think group 3 can fade out on a 0.1. Let's see if I've done this right first try. Okay, the white screen, there we go. The blending above everything, very nice. It's fading off at the sides. Hold on, we almost did it first try. We have to add don't fade, don't enter to this blending screen. Otherwise, there's going to be cracks at the side. I want this to be a very seamless look right there. It fades on. Very cool. We got the blue, we got the green, and then it should go rainbow right here. Hell yeah. And then the white flash. Boom, back to normal. That is pretty much perfect. Apart from the ground still has the black look to it. There we go. Then the flash should bring the ground back as well. Yes, that is pretty much perfect. Okay, so in this video, we have made 2 successful effects in Robtop levels. I mean, the Can't Let Go thing was kind of a miss. It was kind of cool. Hopefully it inspired you at least, or it was entertaining to watch. I don't know. My favorite one is the blast processing one, but the dry out one was pretty smooth, I'm not gonna lie. I'm proud of them both. I think it's going to be a decent video. We could maybe turn it into like a little side series. I don't know. Every couple of weeks, I add a couple more effects to Robtop levels. I don't know. I'm going to run out eventually. There's only so many simple effects that I think would work with Rob's decoration. But thank you for watching this Geometry Dash video. Check the links in the description. Leave a like and subscribe. And have a good day.